All right, guys, so we got to talk about one of the silliest stories I have ever seen in my life, as there are some woke revolutionary high school students out of Decatur, Georgia, that got triggered, so triggered that they started protesting. Okay, looked like a riot to me, right? They walked out in protest over a teacher using the N-word in class, a white teacher using the N-word. Now, what was the context of him using the N-word? He was telling other students to stop using the N-word, and he actually said it, right? During class, he said it. And for whatever reason, all these students got super triggered by it because the teacher wasn't fired. He was only like suspended for 1 day and he was let back. And apparently, the woke revolutionary students were so upset by this that they started to protest. They walked out. I'm gonna play the video clip here because again, this story right here is so silly to me for multiple reasons. Take a look.
Students demanding action tonight after a teacher used the N-word in class. Hundreds of students walking out of Decatur High School in protest, and that is where we're gonna start things tonight. Atlanta News First Tori Cooper spoke with impassioned students and disappointed parents. She joins us live from where those protests happened. Tori, a lot of these students say they feel like the teacher did more justifying than he did apologizing.
Yeah, Alan, the students we heard from say that the teacher spoke more about what happened and showed very little remorse.
He directed it to two students, not directly calling them the N-word, but just telling them not to say it. This caused a lot of people to be in shock because we weren't expecting him to say the actual word, and he said it multiple times.
Students at Decatur High School say a teacher, identified by staff members as Mr. Chestnut, was removed from class for 1 day after using the N-word last week in front of his physics class. He returned to class, and this is how students reacted.
No justice, no peace, no justice.
Students tonight say Mr. Chestnut needs more diversity training, and he should be fired.
Every colored and Asian, Hispanic people were very hurt by him saying it, and they really just wanted something to change, especially because he was suspended once for 1 day and came back acting natural. He did make himself the victim, and when he apologized, he didn't really even apologize, and we just feel like something should happen.
We reached out to the district. They haven't responded. The school did send out a letter to parents days later saying in part this behavior has no place in a classroom, will not be tolerated, and staff is committed to making DHS an anti-racist school. When Mr. Chestnut returned to school a day later, he addressed students in his sixth period class with this.
It was harmful for me to say it. For me as a middle-aged white man to say it, it hits a different way. It's almost like it's cool, and it's definitely not. I could have thought of that in the moment and done something different.
He acknowledged students may no longer feel safe returning to his class either.
And I got the opportunity to think about how and why that got past the filter, right? It's easy for me to wonder that growing up in this country at the time I did, starting in the past, that I have absorbed some racist nonsense that is still bumping around in my brain.
The reason I'm showing up for class next week is because I have to do a retest. It was so not a good apology that I don't even remember what he said.
Now, if you would like to see everything that the teacher said, head right to our website at atlantanewsfirst.com. We've shared it there for everyone to see, and we also have the full statement that was sent out to parents. Reporting live in Decatur, I'm Tori Cooper, Atlanta News First.
Yeah, so there's so many things wrong with this story, right? So many things wrong with this story. I think that it is ridiculous for these students to be out here protesting, for a teacher to be fired because he said the N-word while correcting another student or other students on using the N-word. If you're not also protesting for the students that use the N-word to at the very least be suspended, right? They should be punished too. If the teacher's gonna be fired, then the student should be fired as well too, because the N-word is so bad, right? Saying the N-word is so bad, it's so hateful enough that the teacher has to be fired simply for correcting a student on using the word. Why aren't the students suspended? Why aren't you protesting that? I'm sensing some hypocrisy here from these students. But it's no surprise because this is par for the course in terms of what you see from these type of woke activists, especially from a school that claims that they're committed to being anti-racist, aka being racist against whites. This is exactly the type of stuff that you should expect. Outrage over a teacher correcting somebody on using the N-word, even though he used the word, but not any outrage over the students that use the N-word. Again, it's funny how that works, right? It's almost as funny as the black girl in this video claiming that the use of the N-word hurt not only black students, but also Asian and Hispanic students. And for that reason, she didn't mention white, right? I'm trying to figure out why in the world did using the N-word hurt Asians and Hispanics who are not black, right? They're not black, but it didn't hurt white. She didn't mention whites. Again, it's just funny how that works. It's amazing how that works. And to my surprise, guys, I got to tell you, when I looked up this high school, I expected it to be a bad school. But it's actually not a bad school. It's actually a pretty decent school. So, you know, I mean, the kids, for the most part, are receiving a quality education. However, this type of stuff is nonsense, right? And the students that are protesting this, they clearly have their priorities out of order, okay? If you're going to be upset about it, you need to be upset about everybody else is using the N-word as well, too. Because if it's so bad, I don't understand why in the world is there no outrage about it when you have students in there using it every single day. I guarantee you all they hear all day is the N-word from black students in that school. I guarantee you they called a teacher an N-word in protest of him being fired for using the N-word. I guarantee you at some point in that protest, somebody said, fire that N-word, right? They said, fire that N-word, because I looked at videos of this protest, uncut raw videos of the protest, and the students were cursing, using all types of profanities. It's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure those students were probably calling the teacher the N-word in response, probably on video somewhere. Somebody heard it, and again, apparently didn't hurt, right? Didn't cause the students to get upset about it. Nothing to protest about. Again, it's just amazing how this works. If you don't want the N-word used, then stop using it. The only reason that the teacher used it is because you had students in class that were allegedly using the word. So he corrected them on it. Now, do I think he was right for using it? Should he have known better? Yes, absolutely. But I don't think he should be fired simply for repeating the word in a context of correcting a student and telling them to stop using it. I'm being real, right? And now, if you're going to make the argument that you should fire him, then you got to make the argument that you need to punish the students too. Because if they don't get punished, then to me, it seems like there is some inconsistency here. That means you're only punishing the teacher because he's white, right? Only because he's white. Because apparently the word's not that bad. It's only that bad when you're white. Which, again, it just shows you how silly this whole conversation is in regards to the use of the N-word in the first place. I'm a free speech advocate, okay? I believe either everybody can use it or nobody can use it. This selective enforcement just looks dumb, right? It looks dumb. You look silly. You look stupid when you're protesting over this when the N-word is said every single day among these black students. They screaming it everywhere. But all of a sudden, because a white teacher used it, you so hurt. I can't concentrate in class. I can't take my test. Boo-hoo, I'm a victim. Amazing. Absolutely amazing, man. No, this teacher should not be fired. Okay, he should be allowed to keep his job. And these students need to, focus on what they're actually in school for, which is to learn and, I don't know, stop using the N-word if you don't want to be corrected on using the N-word. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.